I decided to get out of the house. I didn't want to record at the house, so that may be why I'm not able to go live from my previously scheduled link. But that's okay. I'll figure it out. You know, we all have our learning curves. So today I wanted to talk about how to find peace when you're disappointed. And, you know, we all go through disappointments in life, whether they are disappointment with people, disappointments in the workplace, disappointment with other, goals that we had set, um, from health to finances. Like, we always have some form of a disappointment. And some of those disappointments can really leave us in a space where we just feel like all of our effort was in vain. If it's a relationship, you just feel like you can't trust anyone else, or you change for this person and it didn't seem to matter at all, or disappointment in finances. You've really been working hard, to pay off debt or to put more money in your savings and something happens. And so, it's important that we're able to find peace. And that may seem so far-fetched. And it may seem so hard to even wrap your mind around, because everywhere you turn, there's some level of tension, chaos, toxicity. Um, it just seems like it can be hard. The one thing I will say though is that you have to find peace, because if you don't, you'll constantly be every day trying to figure out what your next move is, or you'll always be walking around thinking the worst of people, or thinking negatively about a situation, or you may not even try for the promotion, you may not even try for the raise, because you feel like it's not gonna work out anyway. The last time you tried, it didn't work out, right? um you may get a health diagnosis and you're like, you don't even try to um, go to the doctor or whatever, because you just feel like there's no need. I mean, there's so many negative forces out here right now that it's really hard to first think about the positive and then to find peace. But I want to give you 5 ways that you can find peace. The first one is to stop putting so much pressure and expectations, high expectations on other people. People are flawed just like we are. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, but when I think about my life, there were times when I was not certain about a relationship and I went back and forth, or made this decision and should have made a different one. So it makes sense, that we are fair weather people. And a lot of times when we put so much pressure and high expectations on other people, we forget about who we really should be putting our faith in. And then also what happens too is you become disappointed by people because you've invested in them, right? You've invested time, you've invested effort, you've invested money, you know, especially if you're in a relationship and you say, you know what, I've learned from my last relationship, and so now I'm going to listen more. I'm going to show more attention. I'm not going to be out here, talking to other girls or the guys. I'm going to be faithful. You know what I'm saying? And so what happens when someone disappoints you and you really were trying hard? Like, you basically did a whole 360. You know what I'm saying? Hey, hello, moving bread. Okay, move that bread. Hello, I'm sorry if I can't. Gupta. Hey, Swain, or Swan. I hope I'm not saying that wrong. We say we learn, but we never do. And you know what? Thank you, love from India. Hey, Black. You know what the thing is, Brad, and if that's okay for me to call you that, it's that it's because, can I say this? Each relationship, though, challenges us in a different way, right? Because what's so funny is, like, and this is something that I think is really important about people in relationships, and then I'll get back to the second thing about finding peace, is that each relationship you get in is going to require a different version of you. if you don't know who you are. And what I mean by that is, let's think about it. Let's say you're in a relationship. I'm gonna use myself as an example. I like this guy. He was real cool, real nice dude, right? But he didn't have a job, right? And you know what they say, like, you got to be working, whatever. But I was like, he's a nice dude, you know what I mean? So, and I don't want to be the type that's out here, as they say, a gold digger or can't be with a man when he's down. And so I dated him, but it required a different version of me. You understand what I'm saying? I had to kind of let down. Yes, so you ignored that he didn't have a job, and we ignored red flag. Exactly, exactly. Because I was like, he's a good dude, but it didn't work out. Um, let's say you have someone who is controlling. Then I get in a different relationship, and this dude is controlling. And so then it's like, okay, I really like him. Is he really controlling, or is he just his personality? So every time you get into a different relationship, people can come with different things about them that require you to shift or adjust who you are if you don't know who you are, right? Moving bread. So if I know I don't have a list. I'm not sitting up here tripping about you got to have this, you got to be this size, you got to be none of that. But what I do know is that I want someone who can communicate well, someone who has his own thing going on. You know what I'm saying? Someone who doesn't expect for me to operate in masculine energy so that I can be feminine. And those are the things that really I value. And so when you know who you are and you know where your journey is leading you, then at that point, what you will do is you will then say, okay, I know that's not for me, right? That's not for me. I was just thinking about the other day about how important it is, and I was thinking about a past interaction I had with a guy, and I said, you know what, I should have been more mature and more disciplined in that interaction, right? If I had been more mature and more disciplined in that interaction, we would have never even dealt with each other, for real, for real. And so I saw this person, and I was like, you know how temptations are gonna come, and I'm trying to do some stuff differently, and really the maturity is saying, look, you're doing your thing, I'm doing my thing, and I don't think that it would make sense for us to even interact with each other outside of just communication, because you seem to be on a path to improving yourself. You're doing the work on yourself. I'm over here trying to stay focused, and I'm doing some stuff with myself. It doesn't make sense for us to go past conversation, because if we do, then it could potentially hold you back from the maturity and the growth that you're seeking and the personal development that you're seeking, and it could hold me stagnant. I don't think it will pull us down, you know what I'm saying, because we're both go-getters, but it definitely won't improve. It won't, the relationship wouldn't help us improve in any way, if that makes sense. If no one has told you yet you're wonderful, beautiful, oh, the rest of your day, oh my God, thank you so much. And the same back to you. Thank you so much. It's all about positivity, fam. Down with India. No, not down with India. We love India, Chi-Town. We love India. Don't play with India. India showing up. The second way that you can find peace. So first, again, number one, stop putting so many expectations on people. People are people. They gonna do what they gonna do. Okay. And oh, thank you, baby. Thank you, Andrew. They're gonna do what they're gonna do. And if we sit up here and try to control people because we're needing something from them, you will be disappointed. The bottom line is that people are going to do what they're going to do. You can't make people do nothing they don't want to do. You cannot. And when you really reconcile that thing, when you sit down and you say, you know what, I really want him to stay with me, but he's not going to stay with me. I really want to be the one, but she's already told me I'm not the one. Then once you really realize that you can't make anybody do what they don't want to do, then you'll find peace, for real, for real. The second thing is to focus on yourself. Like today, I could have done my live from home, and that's probably why I had to create a new live for it. Just do it, just do it. but I wanted to come out and I wanted to come into a different scenery, a different space. So I came to this restaurant, grabbed me something to eat. um, but it's about making sure that you're paying attention to what you need. And if you don't know what that is, then it's time for you just to chill out, relax, and really figure out what makes you happy, what energizes you. Today I went to the gym. That's something I love doing. If you check out my community post, you'll see that I shared the link for the routine I follow. I did adjust after the barbell squats. Um, Not after the barbell squats, after the dumbbell squats. I adjusted, but that's something I love doing. Coming from thank you, Krabby. Come on, I ain't gonna say the last part, but thank you, Krabby. Thank you, exactly, Andrew. I mean, and it's not about being selfish, but if you don't know what you enjoy first, how can you give to somebody else? And how can you not be bitter when how can you stop yourself from being bitter when you're with someone else or you're with your family or you see friends and they are elevating, they're getting the promotions, they're traveling the world, they got money, they're moving into new houses, they got cars and all this stuff. How can you stop yourself from being bitter if you are not doing the work on you and knowing what makes you happy, what brings you joy? Because I can guarantee you, when you start doing what makes you happy and what's bringing you joy, then you'll put more energy into it. You'll put more effort into it. That's just like when I created Leadership Cohort, which is another channel on my YouTube, and it's all about leadership. I was in the military for 13 years, served as a drill sergeant. So I was already in the gym. And so, really, getting in the gym is my way of actually finding peace when I've got a lot going on. Another thing is you could go walk at the track or go to your local park. Do like I'm doing right now. Come grab yourself something to eat. Ain't nobody studying me. Ain't nobody else out here. I got my tea. The lady checked on me to make sure I was good. He had me a little side of mac and cheese, and I'm out here minding my business. And just enjoying myself. It's a beautiful day. So it's about, and that can be scary. But the thing about it is, stop judging yourself so hard. When you stop judging yourself so dang hard, bro, you're human. We make mistakes. We hurt ourselves. Yes, we may even hurt other people. But we just repent. We ask for forgiveness. And we don't repeat it again. And we say, you know what? Tomorrow will be better. Maybe even tonight, it will be better. Give yourself grace. You don't have to be perfect. Stop beating yourself up. And guess what? If there's somebody out there telling you, constantly reminding you of what you did wrong, of what you should have done, what you didn't do, why you're not good enough, why they cheated on you, why they, stepped out on you, why they don't help you, those are not the type of people you need to be around when you're trying to do the work on yourself. Now, there are some people who will say, hey, do this, you need to stop doing this. You'll know when it's out of love and when it's somebody who just wants to see you down. They want to see you stay down. You have got to focus on you and say, I ain't fixing to stay down. Ain't nobody fixing to sit up here and convince me that I deserve to be right here, right? Some people blame another because they nothing to do for self and thinking it's a fault. Exactly. And that's a part of doing that work too, Andrew, is when you say, you know what? People don't even want to chill with me the way they used to because every time I show up, I'm drunk. My circle looks different now because my circle is different because I'm a terrible drunk. When I drink, I overdrink. Um, my relationship with my girlfriend failed, and if I really look at it, man, she was really trying to help me out, but I always cut her off at the knees. I always talked down to her. I told her what she was saying was stupid, and now look at me. If I had done what she had told me to do, I'd be better off. My relationship didn't work with my boyfriend because, you know what, for real, I ain't never really known what love looked like or felt like. So for me, it was about getting in a relationship, getting all I can get. And I told him we weren't exclusive like that. So yeah, I was sleeping with other people, or at least I was entertaining other people. But why he tripping? You know what I'm saying? See, and when you ain't never had nobody love you right, you can't even accept the love from somebody and you know it's a good love. You know that person's a good person, but you can't accept it because you know you don't deserve it because you haven't done the work on yourself. And so you don't even trust yourself to not be able to repeat the toxic behavior. So when somebody like, girl, he good, he cute, and he really like he's showing you attention. You don't want that because you don't trust yourself to be able to carry that and treat him in the way that he should be treated because maybe you don't even know how to treat him right. For real, for real. So the second thing is to take time to figure out who you are, pay attention to yourself, do some stuff for yourself. We talk about self-care a lot, and I think it can kind of be thrown around as just this social media thing to post videos and stuff like that. But really it's about doing some inner work, sitting in a quiet space and just saying, why am I still in the same place I've always been? Is it that I can't accept authority? Is it that I'm taking whatever comes my way instead of, you know what I'm saying, Andrew, right? Am I just taking opportunities that come my way, even if they don't align with my ultimate dream? Am I frustrated at work because, for real, this is not where I wanted to be in the first place? And now I'm mad about being here, but I need a check. I need pay. I'm almost 60 years old, and when I look around, I don't see the fruits of my labor. I don't see where I've really created anything. And I'm mad about it. And I need these young folks to sit down somewhere because they getting on my nerves. Don't be mad at these young folks because they out here getting it. You can learn a lot from them because they out here getting it, right? The third way that you can find peace is to actually start to reassess your schedule, reassess your routine. Sometimes we can have a routine that was fit for a care provider. You may be someone who cares for a sick family member. And, and sadly, maybe that person passed away. And you're really in this place of just sorrow, depression, because of course you're missing that person. And you kind of still have the same routine, right? Every day that you had with that person. And now that you don't have to be a care provider, and I know it's hard, and Lord, I send you prayers. Lord knows I do. Now it's time to switch that routine because the routine is reminding you of what's no longer present in your life. And it can even be, you going to a restaurant that you and your wife used to go to. And now that you're divorced, you still go to that restaurant. Maybe you need to go to a different Italian restaurant. Maybe you need to go to the Mexican restaurant across town, instead of going to that same restaurant. Sometimes we can be ambivalent and be like, no, I'm not going to change where I go. If she comes and she sees me, then so be it. She's not my wife anymore. Bro, stop it. Change. Go to a different restaurant. Quit playing. It's not that serious. Unless the food is just bomb.com, then I would call my order in and pick it up and get on down. I mean, sometimes we try to find comfort in pain by going back through painful things, right? And so change your routine. Do something new, right? Do it new. Change the way you go to work. Change the way you come home. You may used to go to lunch by yourself. Is there somebody that you work with and you're like, hey, let's go to lunch together? We can ride together or whatever if you have that kind of work environment. So change your routine a little bit, just to help you realize that it's not as bad as you think it is. And one of the things that really helped me find peace, and this is the fourth thing, was I used to get up in the morning at about 5:45. Family is the first thing in life. If you do for your family, most of the thing is mean you on a good way. Yeah, and Andrew, it's like sometimes you can feel like you give to family and sometimes they're not grateful, right? Sometimes it doesn't matter what you do. Just a quick story. When I was in the military, I got stationed in Georgia, And on my way to Georgia, my dad was in Georgia. He had relocated to Georgia. And I couldn't get in touch with him. You know, I was calling, 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 couldn't get in touch with him. So I stopped by to check on him, and he had had a stroke. And then subsequently, he had a second stroke. At that time, I discharged out the military. I brought him back home to my home state. And, you know, I never looked for anything. I never looked for a penny. I didn't want no money. He didn't even have to say thank you. At this point, he couldn't verbally talk. But it was an honor, right, to be able to take care of my dad the same way he took care of me when I was a baby. And so I think that that's another thing too, is that, you know, when we can settle into doing things because it's just what we should do. And I know that there are times when that can be difficult when family doesn't respect you. Oh, wow, cool. Yes, I'm in America. Yes, England. I love a lot of the UK vloggers here on YouTube. So it was an honor. So the fourth thing is, I used to get up in the morning about 5:45, right before the sun came up, with my coffee, and I would stand on my porch. And you know, it's something beautiful about the way the sun rises. Oh my goodness, Latvia. Oh, I know I'm saying that wrong, and I know what it should be. I know what it should be. And I would just stand there, and it would be like when the sun is just about to rise. And man, I would see the squirrels running on the trees. I would see hear the cars early that morning getting ready, heading on in or doing what they were doing. And I would just stand there and just look at God's wonders and just in his creations and just be like, man, it's not that serious. Everything is figure outable. Everything is. Everything has a solution. It may not be the process you want to go through, and it may not be the solution that you wanted, but everything has a solution. It really, really does. And so I just would just love to just get up that early in the morning and just really, really embrace what God has created. So those are my tips to help you find peace, man, because you need it. You can't walk around like I used to, always on the defensive, always walking around injured and hurt. And we all are still going through our processes. We never stop healing. We never stop going through our process. I will be launching the Make Room for Faith podcast July 1st, and it's actually going to be book club style. So our first book is Real Talk with Tasha Bailey. And basically, what I will do on the podcast is I'm actually just reading a chapter from the book, and then we'll have more conversation here on YouTube as well as in the comment section of the episode itself. So I will be rolling that out to you guys. But before I end, I just want to tell you that, you know, you have to understand you are worthy, you are exceptional, you are valuable, you are a key to making this world go round. If you feel as if you're not valued where you are, step back, breathe, relax, chill out, and assess your surroundings. You may need to make a shift. It may be time for a change. And you know what? Instead of lashing out, instead of getting upset, instead of yelling and saying, no, I don't want, I will no longer accept this, sometimes the best way to move is to move in peace. Because once you really assessed it and once you really evaluated it, you can move in peace. And it doesn't matter what no one says, doesn't matter what no one does. Once you've taken it to the ultimate decision maker, to the ultimate advisor, your ultimate counselor, and you know where you should go and what you should be doing, that's it. That's it. Relationships can be healed one way or another. That doesn't mean that when a relationship is healed that you guys are kumbaya and you talk every day. Healing may be, I said my part, I heard what you said, you heard what I said. We either agree to disagree, we agree that we heard each other, and then we decide, we move on, and we put a button in it. We're done with it, you know. You don't have to be upset about lack of a promotion. You're smart enough to create your own. You're smart enough to find something else. Just don't stay in places and spaces where you're not celebrated. And once you do the work and you really start to heal, you'll start to be able to define who you are. So, as we go through Real Talk with Tasha Bailey, it's going to be a lot of healing, a lot of aha moments, a lot of sharing, and I cannot wait to share more with you and talk more with you. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much. Moving Bread. Thank you so much, Andrew. Thank you so much for coming in from the UK. Thank you from Shy. I think Shy City Boy. I think that was the name. Thank you for checking in from India. You guys, come on. This is our community. Make Room for Faith is an organic premier platform for us to hold space for each other, for us to just, love on each other. We don't have to be perfect. We don't have to be perfect. We don't have to be perfect. Anybody expecting you to be perfect, you probably want to distance yourself from. You're welcome, Moving Bread. Bro, just go ahead, sis. Go ahead, friends. Go ahead. Faith family, go ahead. And in this moment, can you promise me that after the 4th of July, because we all want to have a good time, can you for the rest of July focus on you? And you don't even have to broadcast it. Focusing on you could be you meditating 15 minutes a day. Focusing on you could be you drinking more water. Focusing on you could be you being more dedicated in the gym. Focusing on you could be you counting to 10 before you speak. Focusing on you could be you showing up to work on time and focus because you got something bigger. Focusing on you could be you getting a resume redone. Focusing on you could be you creating your own YouTube channel. Focusing on you could be you amplifying your voice. Can you promise me? I'm waiting on some promises. Moving Bread, you gonna promise me? Andrew, can you promise me? My friend from India, can you promise me? Krabby, can you promise me if you're still here? Peace, Dove, can you promise me? Swain, can you promise me? King Llama, can you promise me? Letitia, oh my God, Latasha Hamilton, love you. Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh, Latasha. Father God, give Tasha, give her comfort, give her consoling, God. Mm. God, give her enough peace where she can celebrate her brother in love. Latasha, I'm sending you prayers, friend. I really, really am. Good morning, Francis Nelson. Good morning. Can you promise me, you guys? Black, can you promise me? Gupta, can you promise me? Can you guys promise me? Yes, Moving Bread. Come on with it. Oh, look, I don't know what you're going to do after the 4th. See, I'm even being generous. I'm going to give you to after the 4th, okay? After, you did the fireworks and everything, friend. But go ahead. Whatever that one thing is, not a lot. Don't do a lot. Just choose one thing that you promising that you will do for yourself. And we're going to take it for the rest of July. And we're going to do our points. We're going to do our check-ins now. We're going to do our check-ins on the community poll, on the community tab. But I am so proud of y'all. And I'm proud of you, Moving Bread, for real, for real. I'm proud of you, friend. And you just remember, you're bigger than anything that anybody has ever told you that you would never be. You're bigger than the doubt. You're bigger than the hate. You're bigger than the disappointments. You're bigger than the failed relationships. You're bigger than the family issues. You're bigger than the money issues. You're bigger than the disrespect from someone else. You're bigger than all of that. And when you tap into yourself, friend, they ain't gonna recognize you, and you don't even remember who they were. They ain't gonna recognize you. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Chris. Chris, are you gonna promise me that after the 4th of July, for the rest of July, you're gonna do something for yourself? I don't care what it is. It could be, you know what I'm saying? It could be, I'm gonna, I'm gonna check in on my grandmama. Thank you, friend. You could be. I'm gonna check in on my grandmama once a week. It could be. I'm a text. I'm a text somebody that I had a bad relationship with, and I just want to make that thing better. And I'm gonna work on that for the month of July. It could be. I'm gonna move on from a bad relationship, and I'm not going on their social media. I ain't gonna worry about what they got going on. I'm going to focus on me, period. I'm going to focus on me. And I will end it with saying, don't ever allow somebody else to define you. Not by the color of your skin, not by your education, not by how much you make, not by how much you what you drive, where you live, none of that. You are the only one who can define you. Now, what it's going to look like in July? Hey. What it's going to look like in July? I want us to come back at the end of July popping our stuff for real. I want us to come back here popping our stuff. So I will definitely share with you guys what I'm going to commit to for the month of July. And we'll just keep getting better because that's all it's about. Make room for faith. It's just about us becoming better people and just believing in us. Oh man, thank you, Moving Bread. Man, look, life has taught me a lot. And I can tell you right now, at the end of the day, you got to do right by people. And people got to do right by you. And if they don't, ain't no sense in you get mad, upset, angry, loud, bitter, want to go and do this and do that. Man, let karma hit it. Let karma take care of them. Let karma take care of them. It's too much energy. It's too much wasted energy. It's too much stress on your body to be trying to figure out how to get even. What you want to get even for? God is the one who will make all crooked roads right. God is the one who will settle all your issues. Well, leave that alone. God got that. Leave that stuff alone. He got it. He got it. So that's who I look to. That's my number one friend. That's my main friend. Okay. Yes, I'm gonna try to fix my sleep because I've been sleeping 4 to 6 hours a day for the last month or so. I'm gonna tell you something. The interesting thing is, and look up on YouTube about what time you get up. You know that 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. time is a very spiritual time. And the other thing is too, is that I don't know if it's if you're working too hard, if you got a lot of stuff going on, moving bread. What I would say is, you say you're going to work on your sleep. What I would suggest is that you write down your schedule and see what that schedule looking like. Are you spreading yourself too thin? Are there some things that you're doing right now because you got to do them? You know what I'm saying? So let me give you an example. For real, for real. At one point, I was working 2 full-time jobs. I was working 2 full-time jobs. I ain't gonna tell you the schedule, but baby, it was 2 full-time. And when I say I was working 40 hours each job, I was. And I wasn't getting enough sleep. And I really didn't have no bills. I just liked the money, you know. Yeah, I had my finals at high school, but now it's over. Okay, yep. So now you can really go ahead and start getting some more sleep. And that's a good thing. So you make sure you get that sleep now, okay? And you know, just think about, since you say you're in high school, you're our future. And we appreciate y'all young people because I mean y'all teach us stuff every day. So what impact can you have? And I know that may be a heavy question for someone in high school, but it really just starts with small things like, you know, do when somebody say something crazy, do you say, man, that don't make no sense, or do you just stay silent and move on? um, you know it's really interesting, high school is. And so I would just ask you to, whoever those mentors are, parents, adults that are in your life that are talking to you, can you just say, you know what I'll do? I'll sit down with one of my OGs. I'll sit down with one of my elders. I'll sit down with one of my mentors. And I'm going to ask them, hey, can we have a conversation? Can we talk a little bit? Can we chop it up a little bit? You know what I'm saying? And what that means is, what we as adults have to do is we have to listen as much as we talk. You know what I'm saying? So the same way that a young person sit down, I learned this from my daughters. Man, it ain't no longer just because I said so. So can we sit down and chop it up for a minute and be like, see all that music y'all listen to, da, 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 da. And then you can say, well, we listen to them because this, and this. I just hope that you can, during the summer, have that conversation at least twice with somebody that you trust, and that somebody that will be willing to have conversation and dialogue back and forth, so that you can talk about some of the things that you see out here in the world. you know and I think you guys learn better when you're heard. and not when you're talked at. And so, I give you all the respect, because I mean, I know it's not easy. This is a different time, of course, than when I was raised coming up in high school. But at the same time, we have to give y'all respect too, and we have to hear y'all. And we shouldn't talk at you, but we have to listen. Now, some feedback you might not like, because I always say the game is the same. It's just the way that the way it's executed that's different. The game is the same. If a dude gonna cheat, he gonna cheat. He can just cheat even better now. Social media. We didn't have all that. Okay. If a thief, hey, if they gonna steal from you, they gonna steal from you. Now they can go and get your pen and steal from you from the online and stuff, all this crazy stuff online. But I always say the game is the same. It's just done differently. So, for real, those OGs can tell you, hey, when old boy said that, you know what that meant, didn't it? It's gonna hurt you. I could spot a hater from a mile away. I could spot a player from a mile away. I could spot a hustler from a mile away. It's whether I want to entertain you or not for a little bit. But now in the walk that I'm in, I can't entertain you. I gotta have more discipline. You know what I'm saying? It ain't worth me entertaining somebody that I know does not deserve to be in my space. We're on two different journeys. We're on two different roads. So, yeah, I'm good. I'm on the phone. I'm good. Um, See, they checking on me. So it's that right there. You know what I'm saying? It may not feel good to hear that truth, but sometimes you need to hear that truth so that you can make better decisions, and so you won't end up putting yourself in a compromising position or being disappointed by a person, right? And I think it was like you said, we never learn. But I think that the thing is that people come to us, like I said, the game is the same. It's just the way it's executed, right? So, like for me as a female, you know, a dude may come to me and be like, "Hey, I just wanna be your friend." You know what I'm saying? I just wanna come holler at you every now and then. That's one way. He's straight up. Another dude may see me at church and be like, "Oh, sister such and such, well, yeah, I would love to take you out for lunch sometime, boo, boo, boo." And guess what? Later on down the road, he was just the same as the dude that said, "Hey, I just want to holler at you every now and then." Just a different way of doing it, just a different approach, So the thing is just take your time on everything you do, whether it's in your education, in the crew you hang with, the people you get to know. Be careful about who you call friends. Ain't nobody no friend until you solid with them, and you'll know. That don't mean you have to tell them what you know, but you keep that in the back of your mind. You feel me? You pay attention. Nobody has to be your friend all right off the bat. You know what I'm saying? And you don't have to let them know what you really think. That's your superpower. That's your power. Those are your cards to hold. But when you need to go ahead and slam them down on the table, yeah. So, yeah, I have my fine. Okay, so I'm gonna let you guys go, but it was really really good. Moving bread. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel. I'm gonna go and check if you have a channel. I definitely will subscribe to it. And Chris, I really appreciate you, my friend. Everybody that came on this live, man, I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Let's make room for faith, man. Let's make room for faith. Let's make room for faith and move out the fake. And let's just keep going. I swear, for me, as I get to know my word better, I move better. And I hold myself accountable more. And it's just about really what do you want to attach to that's going to generate some good out here in the world. All right. Love you guys. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Yeah. God bless.